Hi, I'm Bart. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 areas to implement AI into your business the right way. We're going to cover 5 things. Why AI is worth your time. The top 2 mistakes businesses make when implementing AI. A 4-step beginner roadmap. Tools you can try right now that will increase productivity. And the 30-day AI challenge. So let's get started. Right now, over 35% of businesses in Australia are using AI, and another 60 are planning to implement it. How many have implemented it well enough? How many have it in production and across enough systems to see a big increase in productivity? You want to know what that figure is? It's 20%. It doesn't take a lot to do it right, but you've got to do it the right way. So here's 3 ways you can start using AI today in your business, whether small, medium, or large. Number 1, it'll supercharge your productivity. For mundane admin processes, you can wipe out 80% of them. 2, it can personalize customer experiences to such an extent that it feels like your clients are working one-on-one with you when really you've already scaled to a large size. And 3, it helps you innovate faster to stay ahead of the competition. Here's a real-life example. One of our clients, an Australia-wide rental equipment hire company, implemented an AI receptionist over the weekend. So no more need to answer phone calls during the Saturday and Sundays when they spend time with their family and friends. And they've seen a 30% uptick in revenue. Let's talk about the top 2 mistakes businesses make with AI. The first one, they jump straight into solution mode. They don't look at the big picture and go, okay, this is my workflow in my ops area. This is my workflow of the customer journey. Where can I use AI at steps 3 and 5? They don't do that. They just go, give me this shiny glitzy object and make it work. That's not a good approach because it becomes fragmented and you'll get a little benefit here, but the overall experience won't be as accelerated. So if you're going to implement AI, start with a strategy. If you want to know how to do that, check this out. This is an AI readiness assessment you can use straight away to give you an idea as to what you need to do within your business. The first is your strategy. Is your leadership ready? Have you identified specific use cases for AI? Do you know what it can and cannot do? Then data. This is one of the big ones. Most businesses we work with don't have data that's ready. It's either unstructured, like emails, and you need to structure them so that you can actually extract analysis and get sentiment analysis and do whatever you want to do. But you've got to get the data ready. Is your data ready? Do you use Google Drive or OneDrive? How do you clean data? Do you capture everything you need in your CRMs? Do you have gaps? What's your tech stack like? Are you comfortable with using Perplexity, ChatGPT, Notebook LMs? Do you use anything for image generation? The next area is people. Is your staff trained? Do they know how to use it? Are they using personal accounts? Are they copying customer data? Have you got guardrails in place? These are all things you need to know. And one example of this is create a company-wide Perplexity account. So everyone's using that AI search engine under your banner, right? So you know what's going on, rather than everyone having their own personal account at work. And the last one is ethics and change. Have you thought about the change your customers may experience, better or worse? How your team is going to be thinking, am I going to get less hours because I'm more efficient? Have you spoken about all these things? AI is here to help us. But if it's done the wrong way, people can perceive it as this thing is going to take my job. So you need to also be careful how you word it and be aware of risks because it's not perfect. It hallucinates, gets things wrong, makes stuff up. Be aware of what it can and cannot do before you implement it. This guide gives you a score in 5 areas and you can see how you're doing and what areas to focus on. A score of 5 means you're doing very well. Anything below 4, whether it's strategy, data, technology, people, or ethics, they're the areas that you need to work on, okay? The second biggest mistake that we see when businesses are starting out with AI is they never go from pilot to production, or they go from that stage in one area but don't scale it out. For example, the pilot is successful but never gets rolled out. To counter this, set a target. What do I want to achieve using AI? So let's use an example of content generation. Let's say you want to go from spending 3 hours a week on social media to 1 hour using AI. Okay, so you're going to go for 3 hours to 1 hour. Using AI, you've given yourself a target from 3 hours to 1 hour. If you run the AI pilot and it's successful, you're more likely to implement it because you've seen the results and they're tangible and they're real. So if you're looking at running pilots and there's nothing wrong with them, it's a great way to see and feel how it's going to work. Make sure you have KPIs, a starting position and an end position. If you meet those key performance indicators, great, it's ready for production. But don't just put pilots in place and then never go to production. When you're using large language models like ChatGPT 5, Claude Sonnet, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Grok 4, don't just copy prompts on the screen, because most of the time they're tailored towards that business or that particular audience or target market. Learn how to write proper prompts. This is so important. The amount of times that I've seen myself writing a very generic prompt and getting a pretty crappy answer versus writing a super detailed prompt, which I've researched, and getting a much better answer happens 9 out of 10. So really prompting is the language of being able to speak with an AI to get the most out of it. And one of the examples of explaining what AI is, when I talk to people, imagine it's a young intern, they're eager, smart, and want to help you, but you need to explain tasks in detail. If you've just hired an 18-year-old to do your admin and you say, write me an email to clients, that's such an open-ended question. How long do you want it? What sort of tone? What am I writing about? Who is it for? Be specific. If you're struggling, drop it to comment and I'll help. Here's the 4-step roadmap. This is pretty important because if you can get this right, you're 80% ahead of everyone else. Number 1, map your pain points. And the easy way of doing this, and without complicating it, is look up something on the internet called FMEA, Failure Modes Effects Analysis. It's a great tool in order to basically map a workflow. So let's say you're onboarding a client. Let's say it's got 5 steps. And FMEA, you overlay each of the 5 steps with what can go wrong if we stuff up this step. Is it reputational damage? Can we get a fine? Is it a bad experience for the customer? How often does this happen? And what are we doing to mitigate that? If you use FMEA, you map out your process and steps that are important and say, am I going to use AI for step 3? Maybe not. At least you know what you're looking at. Step 2 is start small and test the platforms and test the tools. There is nothing worse than going from, this is my input, this is my output, there's a black box in the middle and I have no idea how it got to this. That's not going to help you with your confidence, and you probably won't want to use it long term. Understand how it's coming out with the output. Start with something you can understand. A note taker, super simple. Fireflies, Otter, they're the ones that come to mind. There's heaps out there, right? Try it. Have a meeting, turn this thing on. After the meeting, have a look at the transcript, have a look at the actions and the summaries that it's given you. And if it sounds great, fantastic. Start using it to become smarter at writing those follow-up emails or actions after meetings by using those tools that you've got. Super simple. And if you're worried about data and security and privacy, go to their website like Fireflies and Otter and have a look. How do they store data? What do they do with it? Do they train AI models with it? Fireflies doesn't. I can't speak for Otter. So have a look, but start small, start seeing the results and then move on. Number 3, train and evolve your team. No, not just what the tool can do, but what it can't. For example, if you say, I'm going to upload this technical architectural drawing into ChatGPT and I want it to move the fence line 10 meters back and look at some of the risks involved if I put a garage here. You're asking a lot out of something that's not trained for that task. It doesn't have the domain knowledge. You've got to understand what it can and can't do. Set those key performance indicators, those KPIs, stick to them and track them. These are some tools you can try this week. Allow you to go from 0 to 80% productivity in a very short space amount of time. Number 1, ChatGPT 5. It came out a few days ago. It is a massive leap and bound over what we had before. It is smarter. It hallucinates less, although it still hallucinates, but without getting into all the technical metrics and the performance benchmarks. Trust me, it's great. Go on LM Arena, a benchmarking tool for doing blind tests. It's like a Pepsi versus Coke challenge. ChatGPT is number 1 across pretty much all categories. which doesn't happen often. Secondly, look at Perplexity. It's an AI search engine, and it brings all of the searches to you into one area. So if you're used to using Google and seeing different links to click on, which you do, and it opens up every single new tab, and you've got to read every single tab to understand the answer to your question, start using Perplexity, because it brings the same sources in one unified answer that makes it super easy to read, super clear, and it's free as well. Google's free, but then, it's using our data, right, to make money off us. Use Perplexity. It can give you answers quickly. And if you want to make it a super combo, use ChatGPT and Perplexity together. So for example, let's say you're looking for a new way to bring in sales leads. You can use ChatGPT to give you some ideas for brainstorming and innovation. And you can also use Perplexity. And then you can marry up those two answers. Tool number 3, use Descript to record videos and Opus Clip to create shorts and reels based on the material in a long video. Let's say you record a 20-minute video. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe a client interview. You take that long form video, record it in Descript, then you upload it into Opus Clip, which will read the transcript. It'll select the best viral potential clips, and it'll create clips for you. And then you've got multiple days of material ready to go for social media, etc. And you can take it one step further. After you've got each of those reels, use each to create 2 or 3 social media posts. And then you've got, from one long form video, virtually 20 pieces of content for social media. And it'll take you 2 hours once you get up to speed. So they're the top 3 tools I recommend you start with. I want you to try the 30-day AI challenge. Pick a tool every day and learn how to use it. Now, I don't want you to become a super deep expert in it, because you won't in one day. But understand what's out there. What tools can you use? What can make you go from 0 to 80% in a short time? Is that image generation, writing better, generating a better marketing plan, creating a better customer experience, generating better quality leads, helping in customer support? Go to ChatGPT 5, go to Perplexity, and ask, how can I do an AI challenge in 30 days that will teach me the most important tools for my industry? I'm a beginner. I want to learn how I can help my business use AI. I'm in the manufacturing industry, or I'm in the hospitality industry. Give it context. Look at what it gives you and try it. It'll be overwhelming for sure. But as you learn more tools, you'll find a large overlap between them. For example, you can use Descript to record videos. You can, but there's a heap of other tools. You can use riverside.com, CapCut. There's lots and lots of tools out there, right? So you'll start to see that there's probably 7 or 8 major categories that don't overlap, like writing, customer service, operational improvements, or admin. Let me know how you go. I'll be there supporting you on the sideline. If you like learning new things, you'll love it. If you want a shortcut, grab a video of the AI Readiness Assessment on our website. Good luck. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you want to learn more, get in touch. Love to have a chat. Thank you. See you next time.